That's just in the last 24 hours. Are there more state resources that might be available to help some of these law enforcement agencies that are pretty overburdened right now trying to keep up with this?
Well, you know, we've had the tragedy in the last 36 hours in Columbus. I was in a meeting yesterday morning down in Cincinnati. They have a very similar problem. This is a problem that's everywhere in the state of Ohio. So we were exploring yesterday, and I continue to explore with my staff. Was doing some of that this morning about what else that we can do. Let me repeat a couple things because I think that it's important for us to get the message out. We have the ability in the Attorney General's office with a unit that we stood up about 4 years ago called our Heroin unit at BCI to assist local law enforcement and to come in and help them with equipment and with expertise and with manpower to get the bigger drug dealers. And so I would again make that offer to law enforcement around the state of Ohio. We've been had several departments have taken us up on this. Marion, for example, Circleville, in Lorain County. We've had raids based upon what great work they did and the added assistance that we gave them. That's number one. Number two, I'm convinced that we're not going to arrest our way out of this problem, and that we have to do more at the local level. And so I really encourage anyone who's watching this today, if you need help in your local community, no matter how small that community is, call the Ohio Attorney General's office. We will come out and we will help you. We have 6 people spend a full time working with local communities to put together grassroots efforts, because the problem is we have to change the culture. When I was a prosecutor, the culture was that, you know, even people who did drugs did not usually do heroin. Heroin was just something that people wouldn't cross that line to get to heroin. Today, that line is gone. And so we have to change that culture back to where people fear heroin and understand heroin. And so we have people in our office who will go out and help organize a local grassroots effort where they can hold town hall meetings, where they can work to change that culture. So those are 2 very, very specific things that we would again offer to people in the state of Ohio. We're looking at other possibilities, and I'm not ready now to announce those, but we're actively looking at what else we can do. Finally, we put together a working group to look at people outside the Ohio Attorney General's office, to look at the issue of education. I am convinced that the most important thing that we can do is to start earlier with young kids, kindergarten, and do something that is age appropriate and that has a scientific basis that shows it actually works, and do something every single year, kindergarten to 12th grade. Now, if we start that tomorrow, is that going to abate our problem instantly? Of course not. But I'll guarantee you, by the time that kid in kindergarten is in the 7th or 8th grade, it's very important that we've had an impact on that child. And that's not going to be too many years from now. And so, unless we get started, we're going to continue to see these drug problems. And in 7 to 10 years, it may not be heroin. It may be something else. We're already seeing the evolution of this. We're seeing it go from heroin, to fentanyl, to the carfentanil, and it really started back before the heroin started with the pain meds. So, you know, it is constantly changing and constantly evolving. And so, one way to get on top of this thing is to focus on education and prevention. It's just very, very important.
Do you feel the state needs